Hi everyone, welcome to our new episode on Being Simple podcast. Today we are talking about triggers. What triggers you?
uh, Hello, everyone. That's I felt like Nina was asking me. Anybody who's going to watch the video, you will get it and ask yourself this question. It's a very tough question. We already talked earlier about knowing yourself. So when you know what triggers you, is when you start to learn things, and actually this leads to stop those triggers, because we were talking just before the podcast. We didn't know the subject then. um like it's like you just there is a problem, there is a situation. If you take the heart of it, then there's nothing left to go and dwell or cry, and because you get the lesson. And then that's why we say, and then I said, uh, triggers are our biggest blessing. And why? Because it helps us find the lessons and grow with that.
Yeah, yes, there's a lot of questions that triggers me before. No, hold on, not triggers me, triggers many people. And one question that triggers me. So I'm speaking about most people in general when because I have friends that they are triggered by these questions like how old are you? What is your weight? And then are you married? Do you have kids? When do you, oh no, sorry. So when you going to have kids? So that is the trigger question. Okay, yeah, that one. Also, in my country, it's like common to ask this question. It's like, are you a virgin? And what is your religion?
Yeah.
Yes. And that to me is like, oh my gosh. But at the time I didn't know that was it that call triggers. I didn't know. But I've never had that problem when people asking me that questions. This is what triggers me when people asking me how much. What is the how much did you spend on this? How much did you pay on that? How much for things that I have? Yeah, that triggers me before, not anymore. What triggers you?
I think one of the things that triggers me is when something very simple. If I'm queuing up in a line, and then I see this other guy or woman or person coming and just cutting and going in front of everybody, but not necessarily. And yeah, this really triggers me. Used to. Now it does not, because now I go and tell them, we are just queuing up, like, nicely. It's not like why is it before. The thing is, I was getting upset, but I was not doing anything about it, so I continued to get upset. So triggers is good or is bad, whatever you want to call it. But if you are here like mumbling and getting upset and not doing anything about it, how do you expect things to change?
Yeah.
So I found that I will just nicely say, excuse me, there is a queue.
Yeah.
And that's
Oh,
it.
now you talk about that. It reminds me that Jake triggers me when we're driving, when he's driving and I will be in the passenger seat and he get triggers by someone cut him in the line, like cut in front of us. He will be pissed, and me, here I am, got triggers by him getting triggers. I was like, oh, there's no point on doing this. Like, I asked myself so many times, like, why am I getting triggers by him getting triggers? I was like, I am no different than him. I keep telling him, like, why you are so upset with the person cutting you in line in front of you while driving. And it's like, he was like, yeah, that man is like, that is rude. That is, it will cause accident. This is not good. That's not really good driver. But I was like, but we don't have accident. And then it's like, it keep repeating itself. That triggers keep repeating until one day I said, you know what? I am done with this. This is me being stupid that I got triggered by my husband getting triggers. That doesn't make sense. And I just like click all of a sudden in my head. I was like, huh, I just learned my lesson. All right, I let it go. And now when he get triggers, I let him be. You know what? That is not my triggers, and I'm fine. Like, no, I'm not gonna take.
It does not pertain to you.
Yes, I was like, okay, dude, get triggers. That's yours. It's not mine. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in our daily life we have so many things that trigger us. Um, like if you have children, um, last time I was actually talking to the night, and then one 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 picture frame, you know, fell on the floor. This it didn't this time. It didn't trigger me because we working on all of these things. But this used to be so upsetting. Like I have to go and clean. It's got glasses, and we're going to get cut, and then the dog coming in the middle of it, and then it's time to
Yeah.
protect dog, protect the child, protect yourself, and cleaning up. And as parents, we do have a lot of these things happening to us. But I've been noticing, when I if I'm in this state, or when I'm in this state, everything becomes so difficult to do. Like
Mhm.
it becomes such a big burden. But when you, it's like, okay, it's an accident, just making sure everybody is safe, and then you clean it. It goes faster. It's lighter, because I would put it like that. Like, um, I'm using this energy to clean instead of rumbling, instead of getting upset and getting all these negative emotions. So I'm not saying that I do that all the time. I'm not saying that. I try to remember this,
Mhm.
or practice it at least, whenever I can, or because now I pay attention to these things. I catch myself sometimes halfway, but I still had a moment, a fit, like you would say. Um, and so it's just a question of practicing. And there's so many triggers like that, so many
Yeah.
triggers.
Yeah. In my culture, I grew up in Indonesia. I said that before in a previous episode. Well, I didn't say in Indonesia. I grew up in Borneo, inside a jungle. That's what I said, but that was totally wrong. I grew up in a small village inside the Borneo jungle in Indonesia. And we have this culture that's very religious, and everything has like everything is questionable. So it started from, what is your religion? And then after that, when you're getting older, after high school, it's like, when you going to get married? Like, even when you just have this relationship, when you just have a boyfriend or girlfriend, people will ask you, when is the due? When are you guys going to get married? It's that, like, really quick. So many people get triggers by it. And then after that, when you get married, they will ask you question like, when are you going to have kids? It's like,
Mm.
okay, well, it's not up to us, like, it's really the question that I just, to me, right now, I looking back, I was like, wow, that question is, it's actually dumb question. It's like there is no value in that question. How can you answer, when do you going to have kids? Because,
Yeah.
like, so many people, we want to have kids, but sometimes it's just not that easy. Like, many people, I there's people easy to get kids, and some people it's not, but I have a friend, she didn't have kids, she still don't have kids, and that was so much pressure on her. She always said, when every time people ask her, when you going to have kids, when? And she said, like, this is so sad. Like, after a while, after 7 years or 8 years of their marriage, that question keep coming and keep coming. But she said that she thought it's already numb, but inside of her, the feeling inside, it's still hurting her deeply, deeply. And I was like, wow, it's really like, so many people, I realized, don't have that sensitivity about that, and then
I,
I come to US, and I have friends that they got triggers by these questions of, like, what is your age, or what is your weight, like, how much you weight. Yeah, is that the question? How much you weight? Yeah.
what's your weight? What's your weight?
What's
How
your
much
weight?
do you weigh?
Yeah,
Yeah,
something
but
like
we
that.
get it.
So it triggers them. I was like, wow, this is so interesting. And then here I am talking about myself. I got triggers when people asking me the price. How much is that? How much is this? How much did you buy your house? How much did you pay for your car? How much did your husband's salary? How much, like, how much did you spend on yourself in a month? So I don't see the value on that question. So to me, it's like, those people who ask that questions are measuring how much I am worth, how much my worth. And okay, what if I just said, like, I don't spend anything on myself? Will you still be interested? Like, what is the intention behind that question? That's what I always ask for myself. And then here I am also, like, keep my mind open, keep my heart open with every question that I receive, because it's, again, that is my interpretation. People asking questions, simply they want to know, that's it. And then some people, they go deeper, they want to measure yourself, your worth, to see how much they can give you, how much they can give their respect to you. So, like, what do you do for living? Oh, and then, okay, I can respect you because you're someone that's you're a lawyer, you are a doctor. Okay, I will respect you. But if you say that you are a whatever, you don't make a lot of money, will you still respect that person? So yeah, it's a lot of that questions run deep, and it's just can go anywhere. It's just depending on your interpretation. And to me now, I don't have triggers the way, like, what triggers me now, it's not it doesn't bother me. But I don't have the kind of the same triggers that I have long time ago. No, I'm changing. I'm changing. Yeah.
Yeah, just when you were talking about, I in my case, also in Mauritius, it's a common question to ask. When are you going to make your parents, grandpa and grandma? And I had this question for 10 years, and I think after maybe 6, 7 years, I started to say, as soon as I get pregnant, I will let you know. But because it was so painful, I was doing treatments. I was sometimes maybe losing, just lost that baby or fetus, and people would ask me questions like that, and I it would trigger sadness, like for your friend, and hurt, and all this thing that goes with it, like not being worthy, and like you say, value. But yes, I think we should all take time to think of what's these small questions, because triggers are always small. We make a big thing out of it, but it's small things that can take becomes such a big issue. And then human tendency, right? Like we go back, and it's like, oh, why did I let this happen? Why I couldn't control myself? Why I couldn't not say that? Why I didn't just choose not to answer? Why a small thing take big proportions sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So when something is triggering you, I think it's good to say why, and does getting all uh, upset, does this solve the problem?
Mm-hmm.
It does not solve the problem. And if you sit down quietly and calmly,
Yes.
and then it can solve the problem. But we, including me, Ninai, and sometimes it happened. Like yesterday, it happened. I said something, she got triggered. She said something, I got triggered. And then instead of because we're still learning and we're going to grow every day, and then and until what point, it's like it kept dragging. But now we got the lesson from that, and that's it. That's an old story, that an old a teacher teaching us this lesson, and we said thank you, and then we're going to deal with this situation differently in the future, because now we also got to understand ourselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm sure people confused about what you're talking about, like what triggers you, what triggers
No, we
me.
got upset because we didn't agree
Okay.
on
Okay.
the
Yeah. You
subject.
should
That's what
explain
I'm
that.
saying.
Okay.
Yeah, I said we got upset.
We got
We had an
disagreement.
argument.
Yes.
Yeah,
About crazy
then,
things.
yeah, it's like, and then it, our first fight.
Yes. That's what I called when Jake called me. What you doing? I have a friendship fight. Huh? Yeah, with Nita. I'm like, okay, that sounds so weird. That's just like
Yeah.
so weird. The
No,
weirdest thing
it's just
ever.
we didn't agree because we have different personalities, we have different way of
Different
dealing,
perspective.
and then we both got triggered yesterday, and I think the subject of this podcast is not a coincidence. We didn't
Yes.
think about it before, but it just like we talk about that, and we had to bring you this example from yesterday, and it happened just one day before.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, because the way that you process your thoughts, like you say it out loud to me, that your thoughts, and then here I am, that also like went into the stories, and then I wanted to help where you don't ask for help. You see, like I am jumping into your battle where I shouldn't do that. Like this
yeah,
is your battle, and this is not my place to be. I am just here to listen. And that's all. That's
yeah,
all. That's all. That's it. If I stay there just being a good listener, the argument won't appear. But here I am,
Yeah, no, but
wanting
there
to
was
be a hero, like, oh,
mm.
Nita, I'm gonna save your life.
because like then I said, we process things differently.
Yes.
My way of processing, because we'll do an episode on that. On my I have a personality called reflector, and my way of
That is your human
processing
design. Yeah.
human
Human
design.
design. Yes.
Yeah, my human design profile is a reflector. It's very rare, but that's not the point. What I'm saying is, these reflectors personalities, we need to, yeah, we take time to process. Normally it's 30 days, like full moon cycle. We don't have 30 days. So our way, like what we do is we talk things out. And I was like saying to Nena, then there's one new element is added, then I have to process the whole thing again, and then one new thing is added, and then so anyway, so
Yeah. And that's funny.
it was very interesting because
Yeah.
because yeah, go on, what do you
Yeah.
want to say?
No, I said that's funny you said that because I'm totally the opposite of yours. I process things by my own first, and then when it's clear up, I know which direction that I'm going to take. And then when I decided this one thing that I'm going to take, okay, that's it. I have clear in my head, right? And then I can share. But when I still have that so much stuff in my head, I cannot even say it. Like my mouth is like numb or like freeze. I cannot talk. I cannot say it out loud even when I want to. So many times when I have an argument with Jake, um, I will I will just say like, okay, give me a minute to process things because he is the one that also want to talk it right now. Okay, let's share it. Have all your feeling and my feeling. Let's talk it out. But me, I was like, okay, give me a minute. Just let me process all of this. Where this began and what did I do wrong in here? Like what did I do wrong so it create this? Because argument happened when there is two person, right? There is no way when you
Yeah.
have argument by yourself, like, oh, you will be crazy. Ding, 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 ding. So yeah, that is with me. Like I have to process it by my own first until I have clear in my head, oh, this route that I'm going to take. And with you last night, it was so interesting um, because I felt like it's like fighting with with my husband. He's like, no, you don't get it. Like, hold on. Like, no, I get it. Like, no, you don't. Like, hold on. Let me talk. Let me talk.
Actually, because just so that you get it, it's like it's something that's been happening for 1 week in my life, very intense. So I think I wanted to go out of it, and yesterday I found my way out. So, but I needed to process it to have that, to validate it, and I didn't need an I validation. It's just by saying and I want, so I'm desperately wanting to say what I want to say. But anyway, that was what we are saying is it's triggers. There are everywhere.
Yes.
There is no life without triggers,
Yeah.
and even if we get along very very well and we love each other dearly, and I, it happened to us yesterday, like cats and dogs, and but look at us today. We
Yeah.
are talking about it. We are laughing about it
Yeah.
because we got our lesson from it.
Yes.
And when you take the lesson from it, it becomes a funny story.
Yes.
You're not holding grudges against each other, like, oh, you did that, or I'm not going to do uh, I'm not going to do the podcast. I said at some point maybe we should not do today because maybe our energy is not but no. And when we continue to get our lesson from what happened yesterday, I think it's maybe more beautiful energy than before.
Yeah. Well, I I personally don't take everything, I don't carry things from the past anymore right now. Where I am right now, I left everything behind. Past is past. And because I know that it's make me heavy if I carry everything with me. I'm only carrying it with me what is happening right now. That's why it's so important for me to express how I feel. When I'm feeling heavy, I share to you, Nita, now you make me feel heavy. I shared that. It's like, okay, what did I do? Yeah, because you say this, and then I say this, and you say this, and then you say that, and I say this. It's just like, so when it's gonna stop? Okay, let's step back. This is where it started. I said, okay, this is in my perspective. When I say this, okay, this is all started from this point, and I sharing my feelings to you, and then you say this, it triggers me, and then
Mm.
you got triggers because that the triggers, maybe when I got triggers you don't get triggers, but the energy that I express, it's heavy, you cut that energy from me. See, that is where the
And
argument
vice
come from.
versa. So,
Yes,
right.
because that's it. Like really, I got triggers and I send out the heavy energy, and then you receive that heavy energy, and then boom, there you are. Argument started and fight. It will come down to fight if you let it be. So that's why it's for me. Like I let things go. Like that is also take time for me though. It's not like come overnight. No, it's a process that I take daily, like what triggers me. So that triggers, can I leave it behind? Because that's already happened in the past. I ask myself, what did I learn from this situation that
Mm.
triggers me? And then I found my lesson, I move on. And I always do that now. I don't carry things. That's why I I can sitting here with this love and all that this happiness in me, like I pour my joy, my love in this right here right now, because I didn't carry anything from yesterday, 2 days ago, a week ago. No, that's not exist. What exists is just, it's
Yeah.
simply here right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It definitely triggers or anything when it's uncomfortable. There's something to learn. Why is it?
Right.
And that might make us grow. Like disagreement, getting upset, getting fear, or being shy, not able to talk, or you know, if we all of this uncomfortable situation make us grow, and it's so important to have them. We should thank them instead of getting upset at them
Yeah.
because uh, we don't value that. We want. I mean, I was saying to someone yesterday, could you imagine if like everybody was the same and everybody had there was no challenge at all?
Mm.
We are born one way and then we die the same way. We didn't
It's
grow.
like robot.
It's like, yeah. So we need also those moments of feeling uncomfortable, because that's what makes us grow and be a better version of yourself from yesterday. I mean,
Yes.
I work from this now. It's like I want to grow every day. It's like when you see the changes that you can bring in your life when you decide to make those changes for yourself. Then it's like I want more of that. I want
Yes.
more of that peace because it's so calm and so peaceful. And then it's like this peace becomes an addiction. It's like I
Mhm.
want more. I want,
Yes.
and that's and a lot of people are going through this situation. And that's why we have more and more people. It's, I think, interested in meditation, in yoga, and because everybody is looking for peace,
Mhm.
and we can start by ourselves.
Yeah. By by letting go all these attachments by
Mhm.
from triggers. We the triggers the triggers it's actually it's we attach to that stories like old stories. That's why it triggers us. And I ask myself, what why do I triggers when people ask me about how much? So I grew up poor. I didn't know I was poor, but I was poor. My family was poor. My dad was working in a with hardworking man, but he didn't he made enough money for us. But we were it's not that we are struggling because everybody around us the same. So I didn't know I was poor. And then here I am growing up listening to my dad, money comes, money go, money's in, money out, money's in, money out, and buy everything while you can. Because when you die, you're not going to have all of this. You're not going to bring your money. But also, that is not smart to do, like I don't have a good relationship with money because what that my dad told me. So, so yeah, like now I have I have a good job. Like I'm so blessed that I have this job. Like I'm doing my dharma, and plus before that, I have my husband that support our family. Like we living great life. Again, I didn't being grateful like I should. And so the money stories that I have, it's come from my old identity since I was a little kid. So I carrying it with me. So yeah,
That's
pay
why it's still
attention.
triggering you.
Yeah, that's why it
That's
still
why when
triggers me.
people, whenever this subject is sensitive, still,
Yeah, still
uh,
sensitive,
that
and
makes, hmm,
yeah,
that's
and
make it a trigger. Sorry.
right. Until I recognize that I have money issue, I didn't have a reference to money. I didn't know how to treat money. Until then, money is still going to be triggers in my life. So since I know since I now learn about how to deal with my money stories, how do I respect money? Because money is energy.
Yeah.
Money is everywhere. And since I know how to treat money, it's like the triggers comes and less and less
Mhm.
because I recognize it like, oh wow, this is my old stories. This is my old stories doesn't serve me anymore. This is not who I am today, and I let you go with ease. And that's it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's good.
Yeah. So
Anything you want to add more?
no. So
I, yeah, I think we've said the most important thing, and like our triggers are our best teachers
yes.
to make us grow, and to be. That's my takeaway, and it's even bigger because just before this call, we processed on the trigger that of yesterday, and and now we understand a bit we already understood each other a lot, right? But now we understand each other even more, like in a deeper level. And sometimes, like like in any relationship, couple, kids, friendship, it's good to sit down and to check how the other is doing, because we tend to take things for granted. Like, okay, she knows that, for example, I don't like, I'm going to say, hot water, because I've got water on my table. So hot water. But sometimes it's good to talk about it again, because if we are in a relationship for many years, just a casual reminder or talking about, what that I don't like hot water, but what is more important is, what do I like? What makes me happy? To talk about all these things, I think this will help growing and not getting too much triggered. Instead of like, instead of saying, oh, I forgot what's her favorite color of flowers, of roses. But if you remind and make this, you make your list of what makes you happy, and then regularly share. I think it's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. My takeaway is triggers are blessings. Value that triggers. Dig deeper into those triggers. What can you find there? All right.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
all
Thank
so
you
much
very
for
much.
joining us.
Thank you,
Yeah.
everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.